Tally-ho, adventurers! I'm here once again for another episode of I Played a Thing, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, with Explorer Salad, rocking the hat we picked up last episode along with the leather armor set, all dolled up to go exploring the Grave of Saints. And I am back from my little vacation, and things remain kind of complicated and difficult on the home front, but it was really nice to get away for a while and have some quality time with some excellent people. So, you know what? We'll keep on keeping on. And it occurs to me that I did promise to show the description for the second dragon ring last time, so we'll get that out of the way. A dragon signet ring, etc., etc. About the stats. Ralmond, Knight of Drangleic, served the king by guarding the fort until his own demise, and was said to have cherished this ring throughout his life of service. Well, in addition to whatever sentimental value it might have, I could see why you'd treasure that quite a bit just for its excellent stat boosts. This ring is not going to come off until we find the third dragon ring, which is even better. Anyway, last time when we headed down the honey bucket, we did light up the bonfire at the entrance to the Grave of Saints, so we can head right back there and get right back into the action. And as I mentioned, this is going to be the second of the Rat Covenant areas, and I would say it's the easier of the two. In fact, there's pretty much no way it's not the easier of the two, because it has a really simple enemy loadout. It's mostly just regular rats, and not even the kind that can inflict toxic on you, if I recall correctly. Also, in addition to fewer enemies, there are also fewer and less lethal traps. So, yeah, there's really very little Rat Covenant action in this one. In addition to the Covenant being unpopular to begin with, fairly few people actually do PvP here, just because, as always, the host takes on all the risk, and, well, you can't stack the deck as much in your favor as you could in the Doors of Pharos, just because the enemies aren't as dangerous to the people you pull into the world, and you don't have the advantage of nice traps. So yeah, really not a whole lot of reason for people to want to rat burrow in this area. But it does have a unique boss and a couple of nice treasures, so we will want to explore. And here are those rats I were talking about. As you can see, they can build up petrification on you, but they do so rather slowly. And that's... if that gets to the top, of course, it's going to kill you outright, unlike toxic, but you're much more likely to actually get toxic inflicted on you. So, really, they're pretty easy to deal with. Oh, I see ratties. But we know how to deal with ratties. It's the same way we deal with most things, with a fuck-off big sword. Anywho, most of the Pharos contraptions around here, just like in the Doors of Pharos, are nothing but trap activations for the rat bros, so you won't want to mess with them yourself. Some trade items, we haven't been back to the Crow Girls in a while. However, the Pharos contraption right at the bridge here does lower it, so we'll go ahead and activate that. And we'll go explore over there in a moment. We're just going to do a little more in the immediate area first. No, I want to read the message. Oh wow, someone actually is rat burrowing here. Well, we'll see if we can take him down. I'm really surprised to see that. It just doesn't tend to happen much in this particular area. And it's someone with a heavily censored name, apparently. Any rats gonna try and creep up on me? Yes. The enemies here are less of a threat, but you do still have to have a care about them. Oh, hi there. Watch that phantom range. Oh. He's got some quick attacks. I gotta be careful of that. And my stamina is not in the best of conditions. Oh, that phantom range. That poison's gonna kill me. Yep. Tried to get a heal off quick there, but I was just too slow. Oh god, what's wrong with his face? Well, anyway, even though I done got killed, that's really not gonna cause me too much trouble. And we're safe from being invaded for a little while. I think the recharge is about 10 minutes. Oh, and by the way, just so I could put on my, whatchamacallit, my gold, covetous serpent ring, I do not have my chloranthy ring on right now, so my stamina recovery is not as good as it's been lately. Let's see, what's over this way? Oh, on the subject of invasions, this area does have a, an NPC invader, but it's an unusual NPC invader in that he only shows up if you're playing offline. Now, you may recall in a few item descriptions we've seen mention of a guy named Roy the Explorer. And yes, it is Roy that invades you if you're playing offline. And if you're in the company of champions, Roy is actually a really good enemy to farm Awstones off of. But we are not in the company of champions, so that's really not any concern of ours. And I see rats hiding back there. Let's see if we can activate them from a distance and keep them from ambushing us. As I'm sure they would love to do. Well, not only can we hit them from a distance, it appears, we can actually kill them from a distance because it doesn't properly aggro them. All the better for us. This is a Souls game, that means I'm not too proud to take the occasional unfair advantage. Now if I could just get that second hit on this one, that would be all the better. There we go. Extra bones, never gonna complain about those. Extra rats, I can easily deal with those. And over in the distance there, you will see a fog gate, which is where we're going to encounter the boss when we're ready to finish up with this area. But I'm not quite feeling ready for that yet. Oh, by the way, the Pharaoh's contraptions here near the rat statues with the jugs. Oh, hi! Snuck up on me. If you activate those, it'll make acid spew out of the jugs, which is another nice little trap that you can use to do equipment breakage on people that you're rat broing against. But in earlier revisions of the game, there was a rather bizarre little detail about that acid pool that comes out of the jug there. That being that the acid texture had a Heineken label in part of it. I'm fairly certain that has since been patched out, so I won't bother activating the acid pools so you can look at the Heineken label, but I guess it's nice to know that the folks from the Grave of Saints were fond of a good cold one. Let's see, what have we got over here? Looks like we've got a little treasure over there. I'm sure we will have some rats popping up after us in the not terribly distant future, but we'll deal with that when we need to. And what, pray tell, is Whisper of Despair? I don't actually remember that spell. Here it is. It's a hex that releases verbose darkness. The darkness echoes words of despair, reducing the defense of opponents. The dark blankets the world in black. A thing of tranquility. A thing serene. Okay. So it's an anti-defense thinger. Not treasure we're going to find especially valuable, but What are these stone rats? I wonder if that's something else that you can activate with the Pharaoh's contraption. Oh! Never mind that, we've got some of the non-stone type here. I suppose poison moss counts as fine work, skeleton. Danger zone ahead. What is that? Oh, I think this is the other side of the downstairs bridge that we activated with our Pharaoh's Lockstone. Yep, it appears to be just so. So I don't think there's anything else we really need to do here. We've cleaned up all the treasure I can think of that's available to us right now. We have explored around. We've talked about Roy the Explorer and the Heineken label. So yeah, I don't think there's much left to do but to take on the boss. And this boss fight does require a bit of caution, but I would say it's overall substantially easier than the Rat King's Test / Royal Rat Authority. Like that one, we do have to take it on without any allies, because summoning is disabled in this area. But that's okay, I think we'll manage. I don't think magic weapon would really be particularly helpful here, but it certainly can't hurt. The way this boss fight works is a little bit unique. We start out with lots of rats just surrounding us. And you do have to be a bit careful because there are lots of them and they do cause that petrification buildup, so you don't want a bunch of them hitting you at the same time. It's no bad thing to back off and let your petrification meter go down for a little while if you need to. And when we've killed a certain number of rats, the actual boss will show up, which is just another rat, but it is a special rat that has a mohawk. And all you have to do is kill the one with the mohawk, and that's the boss fight sorted out. But we do have to kill, I think, about 10 rats or so before it actually shows up and starts attacking us. So we'll just do that carefully. It's often helpful to get into a corner just so you can't be surrounded, but then of course that means you can't really retreat very easily if you need to. And yes, the Royal Rat Vanguard is the one with the mohawk, so we'll want to keep an eyeball out for... Oh, there he is. And behaviorally, he's just like any other rat, but I believe he does more damage and causes... Oh yeah, he does lots more damage. And causes lots more petrification buildup. And looks like he can poison you as well, so... You do want to have a little caution about him. But as long as you're not getting hit, he's pretty much the same as any other rat. He'll just really fuck you up if he does hit you. Come on, I want to lock onto the one close to me, thank you. And killing the regular rats has no actual value with respect to actually finishing the boss fight. But clearing a path can certainly be helpful at times. Oh, careful there, Salad. Taking a few too many hits there. Okay, where's Mr. Mohawk? He can be a little hard to make out in a crowd sometimes, and I've kind of lost track of him. Oh, there he is. And as you can see, he's not exactly brimming with hit points, so that's one thing that works in your favor. Okay, let's get back, let that petrification drop a little bit. And that's it, we're done. The other rats will all run away, but I'm not above a little revenge. So there we go, we get the Royal Rat Vanguard's soul, and we get another rat tail if you want to join the Covenant now, because just like the other rat burrow where we fought the Authority, there is a Rat King presence here. But let's take a look at that boss soul. Soul of the Rat King's Vanguard of the Underground Realm. The Rat Coin... I can't talk. Nothing new there. The Rat King's loyal servant judges the worthiness of those who seek royal audience. So the Vanguard is himself a test, apparently. And here's his royal rattiness again. He has nothing new to say, but we will pay our respects all the same. By the way, there is additional dialogue that you can get with the Rat King by leveling up in the Covenant, but I'm terrible at PvP, and there's no really good way to grind rat tails that I'm aware of, so we're probably not going to see those. I'm sure you can look them up on YouTube if you need to. A magical skeleton rendered to gelatin because I dared to dream. You know, this is a pretty big guy. And, as we were exploring the Grave of Saints, I can't help but notice that a lot of the skeletons we found were really big, so I wonder if this area has any connection to the Tomb of the Giants. Well, a fairly tenuous connection, but who knows? Anyway, if we drop down here, we can get a piece of treasure in the middle of this dried-up fountain that we didn't have access to before. Nice replacement for one of our lockstones that we spent. Here indeed. Alright. And if we work our way down on these coffins, which are protruding kind of strangely from the vertical passage here, then I believe that will put us across, above that bridge that we saw when we worked our way down before, and where I tried and failed to make that one jump to a particular piece of treasure. Oh yeah, and there's the lizard I failed to get last time. Jumping off. Exactly. That is how we are going to try and get at that treasure correctly this time. And yeah, this looks like a good spot to do it if I can get lined up correctly. Ah, but we're not going to want to miss this first. Nothing too exciting about a bleedstone, but better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, as I like to say. Alright, that's still a tricky target, even from the place you're supposed to access it, but we'll give it a try. Bullseye! And what we get there is the disc chime, which is a rather unique little shield. Where the hell is it? I thought it was categorized under shields, but perhaps it is categorized under holy chimes? Ah, yes it is. A rare sacred chime of unknown origin. Can be used as a shield. This chime, likely brought here by a visiting saint, slightly augments the effect of miracles. Use strong attack to emit miracles and hexes. So it's basically a small shield, and not a terribly good shield, but instead of parrying, you can use it to cast spells if you want. Alright. And now we're gonna drop on down. And we will have the exploding citizens again. Let's hope I can deal with them as cleanly as I did last time. Because I never enjoy getting blown up. Oh, and they drop flame butterflies. Just one, but that's one more than I had before, and it's an item that is really quite useful in the area that's upcoming. Okay, did everything there is to do here. And what we are coming up on, well, you may recall when I started into Blighttown in the previous LP of Dark Souls 1, I talked about how every Souls game has what I like to call a grody level. One that's got lots of wet rotting wood and disgusting enemies and just all around nastiness. Well, you might have been wondering when the Grody level was coming up for Dark Souls 2. The answer is now. I don't know what good a horse would be here. I'm just going to have to be traversing nasty scaffolding just like we always do in the Grody levels, but oh well. This one, I'm not quite positive how it falls in terms of difficulty relative to Blighttown. I think it's a little harder than Blighttown just because it's harder to navigate, but the enemies, I would say, are easier. So, it all kind of balances out. I would definitely say that the most difficult and the grodiest of the Grody levels would be the original, the Valley of Defilement in Demon's Souls. This one, yeah. As far as death goes, you're not usually in that much trouble, but it is hard to navigate because it is a very large area, both horizontally and vertically. And yes, that does mean I'm going to get lost. And also it probably means I will not get everything here. Some of the treasures are fairly well hidden, and there's something you can get if you successfully light all of the sconces, but as much as it pains me, I kinda doubt I will succeed in lighting all of the sconces. I'll give it a good try, though. Yeah, death is fairly likely at least once or twice, but as always, we'll try and keep it to a minimum. The good news is, there are... Yeah, I do kind of regret dropping from that ladder, but it must be done. Anyway, most of the enemies here are just pretty basic hollows. The real danger is they hit a lot harder than hollows in the above-ground world. Who knows what kind of muck they've been steeping in to cause the steroid effect. But behaviorally, at least, they're just like any other hollows. Dark Spirit. I don't know what they mean by that. Ah, Token of Spite. Now this is something that we can use, as I've discussed before, to make a deal with the little guy in the Undead Purgatory. What's with all the horse talk around here? I have no idea what to make of that. Anyway, we're in no hurry to go talk to the little guy, but we will eventually do that, most likely when we get to a bonfire. And this is good advice. These statues here, they're just like the ones that we saw above ground near the entrance to the pit, but down here, they spew poison, and we don't like that at all. So it is no terrible idea to smash them when you can. This doesn't do anything good for your weapon durability, unfortunately, but... well, better to wear down the sword a little bit than to get poisoned constantly. And welcome to the gutter. Now, just a note about the Japanese version of this level. I do consider the gutter to be a good localization. It gets the idea across, but the Japanese name of this level was At the Bottom of the Rubbish. And I kind of like that too. I guess it sounds a little Englishy and not as, I guess, natural as the gutter does, but it does tell you exactly what this is. It's the very bottom of the trash pit and refuse pit that the folks of Majula use. And, yeah, we're just in the deepest part of the shithole now. Anywho, this area was a little difficult to see your way through in the original release of the game, but with the new lighting engine for Scholar, it's only gotten darker. And that is why, along with my attunement of cast light, I think I'm going to want the Lingering Dragon Crest Wing. After all, we're not very smart, so our cast light doesn't tend to last very long. So every little bit will help. Oh, that is not what I wanted to cast. Oh well. We'll have an unnecessary weapon buff for a while. And as you can see, cast light is very helpful here. And there you can see a pillar of the aforementioned rubbish. Just a massive column of things that have been built up out of things that have been thrown down here. Including some corpses, which is quite nasty. Anyway, my interpretation of this, which is further supported by an item description that we will probably see later, is that the people who have fallen down or been thrown down here as undesirables and hollows... Oh, there's one of those statues spitting poison at me. The people who have fallen down here or been thrown away, they're trying to build their way back up to the surface by making structures out of the trash. And hey, it wouldn't be a proper grody level without trash pouring down the walls and slime and muck, now would it? Let's see, is there anything around here we want? I don't think I can hop back up here, but let's try. Nope. Alright, so we will go down maybe this way. As you can see, there's a bonfire there. I'm not quite sure where it's safe to fall and where it isn't, so let's light up again. Still not entirely clear, but I think if I jump, I will make it. Well, I landed alright, I just didn't survive. And it occurs to me I was carrying a decent pile of souls. So, yeah, I really didn't do that too intelligently. Ah well. That's okay. If nothing else, it gives us an opportunity to head back to the Purgatory and pay a visit to our literal little friend. Hey dude, got something to show you.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Do you have a lust for blood?
Well, I gotta say, we've been doing more than our fair share of killing.
Yes, of course. Why else would you be here? Do you give yourself the Nar-Alma?
Nar-Alma, I believe, is the god of war, or possibly the god of blood. You can see who some of the gods are if you get the name-engraved ring from Shalquar. I'll probably do that later, but again, Nar-Alma is some kind of god of war, or killing, or blood, or whatever, and that's all you really need to know right here. So why not?
Then you will need blood. Lots of it. Undead blood, like your own. But it's not as easy as you think. What did he say? Join the Brotherhood of Blood?
Sure, what the hell.
That can hardly be the whole story. I want to hear what you really think. You want more than just a little blood. You want to be drenched in blood, mired in its foul stench. Am I right? Am I? Oh, just say that I'm right. Huh?
Yes, yes already. Blood for the blood god. We get the idea.
I knew it. I knew it. Fantastic. You're the best. Now you are a servant of Nar-Alma. This crest of blood is yours. There. Another servant of blood is born. You will serve well, I just know you will. Well, how are we? Whatever you need, I've got it for you.
Alright, as you can see there in the menu box, our new friend is Titchy Gren. And Titchy, if you're not familiar, is an antiquated word for small. So, as we can obviously see, he's a little guy. Creepy little bastard too, but at least he's friendly to fellow psychos. Also, it's hard to get a really good look at it, but Gren doesn't have a face. No facial features there at all. I don't know if he's wearing like some kind of cheesecloth mask, or if he just literally has no face, but, well, there it is.
You know anything about tokens of spite? Well, you can fight other blood servants with them. I'll reward you if you win with red orbs. You know, a cracked red eye orb. Use them to visit other worlds and seek more blood. Tell me if you need anything else. I'm very generous. Anything to get you covered in blood.
And that is what we can use the tokens of spite for, in addition to actually making friends with Gren here. Over at those statues across the way, you can use the tokens of spite to do PvP with other members of the Brotherhood of Blood. Just a little friendly sparring. So that's kind of like using the tokens of fidelity, was it? At the Cathedral of Blue, if you're a member of the Blue Sentinels. Same kind of deal. And as Gren says, you can get cracked red eye orbs to do more invading if you win. Also, it's a different arena, so something you may just want to do if you want a little variety in your organized PvP.
Have you heard of the Blue Sentinels? They're a thorn in our sides, to say the least. Their men are obsessed with hunting down blood servants. Who cares? It's just another chance to spill more blood. Doesn't that excite you?
Ah, Gren, you are disturbing, but you're focused. Can't fault your focus.
You know anything about token? Tell me.
Alright, well, that seems to be everything he's got to say. Let's see what he's got to sell. There's the Great Scythe, which, as I've mentioned before, is now part of the Reaper weapon class rather than a halberd, and the Reaper moveset is kind of rubbish. It really makes me sad to see this thing in such a state because, well, if you watch the previous Souls LP, you'll know it served me very, very well. And if you've beaten the Skeleton Lords, when you get here, he has their equipment for sale. That's actually kind of nice, so I may pop some of my consumables and see if I can buy those in a moment. He also sells the Delicate String, which you can equip as a ring, and if you do, it means you're more likely to get invaded. That is not something we particularly want, so I probably won't be buying that, but we can take a look at it. A soft string-like ring tied round the finger. Makes it easier for invaders to find your world. Who would create such a ring and why? Perhaps the answer is better left unknown. Let's see, he's got hexing urns and silver talismans. We've seen those before, and cracked red eye orbs. And the red sign soapstone. Be summoned to another world as a dark spirit, and defeat the summoner to acquire a token of spite. Some undead persevere along the honorable path even after crossing into the dark. The red sign soapstone is for them. So yeah, you can have people actually voluntarily bring you in as an invader if you want. And he has a couple of pyromancies that you can't normally get elsewhere. Great Combustion and Firestorm being the most interesting of the lot. And if I have enough money for my consumables, I might pick those up as well.
Fine either way.
Calm yourself, Gran. I just need to eat some of my spare souls here. Alright, not a bad haul.
Well, what have you...
And let's see how much of that stuff we can afford now. The Bone Crown is a Skeleton Lord crown, as I mentioned, and it has high dark defense. The old Iron King led his best men on undead hunts, but their memories were purged in rebirth. The very men who were ordered to hunt down the undead were themselves hollowed, and founded a kingdom of bone. Oh, that's a little more information for us, that the Skeleton Lords were once hunters serving the old Iron King, but when they went hollow, well, they became the Skeleton Lords. So let's take their stuff. If memory serves, this is pretty respectable armor as far as its protection to weight ratio goes. The downside is, again if memory serves me correctly, is that it requires Twinkling Titanite to upgrade. And Twinkling Titanite is not nearly as easy to get as it was in the original Dark Souls. I don't think I'll get much use out of the red sign soapstone, but I'd rather have it than not. The Great Combustion could potentially be a friend down the way, as could Firestorm. And that spent most of our consumable soul bounty, so that actually worked out fairly well. I suppose we should take a look at those pyromancies while we're at it. Firestorm is an ancient primal pyromancy. Pillars of flame erupt near the caster. The Firestorm is said to be the wrath and ire of the spell's creator. And Great Combustion is a superior spell to Combustion, which releases intense flame in front of the caster. A very powerful spell, but so simple that it can be awkward to use. Well, while we're here, we might as well get his last pyromancy for the collection. Why not? An ancient primal pyromancy. Sweep foes with a whip-like flame. One of the original pyromancies. Effective use of it demands agile footwork, making it a difficult spell for most. And we have just enough.
Come back soon.
Alright then, one other thing we can do is trade in the Rat Vanguard soul to Strayed, but we probably don't have enough souls to complete the trade, so we'll just have to remember to do that later. Before we get back into the action though, I'm going to go ahead and make my trades before I forget about them. And then we will resume our gutter crawl. And there is a much simpler way to the bonfire that we saw but did not activate in the gutter. There's a bit of weak floor just above it that you can fall through, and that will definitely not kill you. I think that's the way you're supposed to discover it. Yep, smooth is coming. Silky's coming. Another bleedstone. I really don't need those. Petrified dragon bone. It's very rare to get something that good for a small, smooth, and silky. But I ain't arguing. Oh, a cracked red-eye orb. I'm sure Gren would be pleased to see us carrying another of those around. Oh, and speaking of Gren, it occurs to me that we have not looked at the Token of Spite, which he doesn't actually take from you, or the crest that we got from him. So we'll do that real quick, too. The Crest of Blood is the ring of the Brotherhood of Blood Covenant. This ring is nothing special. Perhaps in the end, an oath is but a window into the ambitions of the Oath-Taker. If you have taken this oath, then you know what you want, to be soaked in the blood of your kind. And what was the other thing? Oh yes, the token of spite. Looks much like the token of fidelity, just a rather nastier color. Token recognizing that the owner has traveled worlds to defeat others. When used, you are more likely to summon invaders from other worlds for a period of time. Simply carrying these tokens shows the bitterness of the grudges the holder has accumulated. So that's another way that you can temporarily increase your invadability by consuming these. But of course, if you buy the red string, that just gives you a permanent source of such things. Anyway, since we didn't activate the bonfire that we saw in the gutter, we're just going to head back to the Grave of Saints, the bonfire near the Vanguard fight. And that will, at this point, be our quickest path back to the gutter. Also, this time, since I've already got the disc chime, I'm going to see if I can't possibly catch that lizard. This whole descending on tombstones thing really does remind me once again of the Tomb of the Giants. Alright. So if we have a tumble here, that should help matters, and... oh, darn it. Oh, plunging attack. Nice. Oh, shart. Ah, damn it. Thought I had my shield up. I guess he was a little too close to me and hit me behind the shield. Which means that we're going to lose all the souls that we got for the Royal Rat Vanguard. Which quite sucks, but... well, that's life. Wonder if the lizard will be back, or if it's just flagged as dead now and I just won't get its stuff. You know, I bet that's what'll happen. Which means I lose in all respects. And that sucks. But into each life a little rain must fall. And it just reinforces that I really, really hate undead citizens. My shield really should have handled that effectively. It is, after all, the one truly flameproof shield in the game. Yep, it appears the lizard is gone. Well, that just bites us all. Ah well, can't be helped now. You are not killing me again. Neither is your friend. There we go. And exploding does actually kill them, unlike the citizens that cause petrification or equipment damage. So at least if they bounce off your shield, they are well and truly dead, and no longer a threat to you. Moment please, I need to take a drink. There we go. Delicious grape Kool-Aid. It's not Estus, but it'll do. And I have to say, despite being at the bottom of, well, the rubbish, this is one of the less grody of the grody levels. I mean, the slime dripping down the walls is nasty, the pillars of garbage are kind of nasty, and just the, I guess the dark sort of creepiness of it is nasty, but most of the decaying wood doesn't look as rotten and soaking wet and filthy as it does in Blight Town and especially the Valley of Defilement. This is certainly not a prime vacation spot, but it doesn't make me feel dirty the way the other ones do. And this time, at least, we are coming in with a weapon in much better condition. That helps. A lot of the torches that can be seen off into the distance are torch-bearing hollows. Obviously, the ones that are moving around are exactly that. As you can see, I often like to use my shield to smash up the statues around here. That's just a way to keep your weapon from wearing down quite so quickly. And if I walk around a little bit here, we're bound to go crashing through the floor. Yes, there we are. And I think there are going to be some hollows around here somewhere. Okay, not quite yet, I guess. Fine by me. Oh, free Grogans. Alright, another thing you will find in the gutter is lots and lots of sconces. And because it's dark, and we do have a limited supply of flame butterflies and a limited supply of light castings, we will want to spark them up as often as possible to get more permanent sources of light. And we do get something special if we manage to light them all, but again, because this is a fairly difficult area to explore, at least for someone with my sense of direction, it's a good chance that that's not going to happen, I'm afraid. And I do apologize for that. Ah! Well, I forgot about that weak section of floor. And this is a little bit depressing. It looks like we've crashed into someone's home. More hollows that have been thrown away or pushed in or just lost to the world. Presumably some of the ones that were trying to build their way back to the surface. And we just crashed right in on them. Is this one alive or is that a corpse? I think it's a corpse, but we won't take any chances because as rude as we were to come crashing in on their living space, well, they're still going to kill us any chance they get. One positive bit of news is that once you've gone crashing through a floor, the floor does not respawn, so to speak, if you rest at a bonfire or die. Now, I believe it is perfectly safe to go jumping across to that other platform there where we just shot down the torch hollow. And I can't find anything better to do right this moment, so that's exactly what I will do. Very good. Any immediate threats? I don't see any, so let's go ahead and light some more candles. Oh, no doubt you have noticed a very heartbeat-like sort of thumping sound in the background. That's creepy, but it's not as creepy as you might think, because it's not some kind of giant creature or something. It is actually the sound of the poison being pumped through those statues that spit poison at us. And you can tell that because if you destroy all of those statues in an area, the heartbeat sound does stop. Yeah, those pillars of trash where they've been trying to build their way back up, those are both disgusting and kinda sad. Something of the hollows down here, I guess, does remember bits of their life up above, and, well, they want it back. Now this I'm fairly certain is a side path, but I don't remember what exactly is in it. Lots of statues, of course. And torches have no durability, so we don't have to worry about wearing ours out. Oh, I remember what this is. This is another door that we need to open using the same key that we would use to unlock that door in the pit. Alright, fair enough. We definitely do want what's behind there, so we'll come back once we have that key. For now, we journey onward. Let's see, what's next? Okay, we're getting out of the light range here, so on goes the magic stuff. Oh, there's a couple of torches right ahead. Yeah, as I mentioned, there are really not too many terribly dangerous enemies in this part. There are the hollows doing a lot more damage than hollows would normally do. Oop, didn't mean to do that. But other than that, there are just a few citizens, and there are some giant skinless dogs that we haven't seen before. Those are a little more dangerous than the others, but they're still pretty manageable. Yeah, your bigger dangers here are just falling to your death, honestly. And the poison. Lots of poison sources. Not sure if I want to jump over there to where those jars are. It looks like if I drop down in the middle we can get over there eventually, so I'm going to take that approach. This looks suspiciously like a living space. Any hollows around? I don't see any. Okay, we do have access to these jars here. Ah, the Dark Pyromancy Flame. When I'm feeling a little more safe, we'll have a look at that, but it's not something I usually find all that useful, but it is an additional source of pyromancy, and I'll talk about the difference with the regular pyromancy flame in a little while. The jars in here, by the way, are full of equipment breakage fluid, so we will not want to break those casually. We'll let the dog do it for us. And that is one of the aforementioned skinless dogs. Well, hairless anyway, I guess it does have skin. Or is that underlying muscle? I really can't tell. They're a fairly straightforward enemy, all told. But one thing that's notable about them is they can be parried. Oops, didn't mean to smash them with my shield. There, hit the wrong button. Oh, hit a hollow behind him too. Nice. Never mind the 2-for-1s. Anyway, the dogs, as I was saying, can be parried, and if you parry them, they permanently stop moving. So once you've parried them, they become immobile and harmless. Which is kind of weird, but hey. Any advantage is an advantage worth having. And I know I hear a hollow. Where is it? Don't want it creeping up on me while I'm trying to light the torch there. Alright, do I have anything to light off of here? No, it doesn't look like I do. So we will go ahead and pop another Zippo. This area tends to consume an above average number of my flame butterflies, but well, they're there to be used, so we'll use them. I think something just fell to its death. Maybe it was that hollow that I heard mumbling. We'll go ahead and put another light up. We are starting to run low on them, but that's okay. Just like my flame butterflies, they are ultimately there to be used. Okay, I see a sconce. And when I see a sconce, you know what I do. And it does waste a little bit of my cast light time, but... Ah! I thought I heard something drop. Oh shit, they're all over the place. Now then, what was I doing? Oh yes, I was setting a light. And as I was saying, that little bit of shenaniganery, which I don't think is a word, and did waste a little of my cast light time, but in the service of eventually getting ourselves a lasting and not time-limited light source, I think it's worth it. Let's see, hollows? Hollows? Any hollows around? Not right at the moment, it looks like. Oh, there's one. And he's worshipping a sconce, which is kind of weird. Sorry, bro, I need that. Some fairly nice treasure over here in the corpse pile. Lots of good stuff. Souls games don't tend to give you lots of Monty Hall piles like that, but I don't mind when they do. So it looks like our next step is going to be to cross the bridge there, and if I recall correctly, there is a citizen that's going to drop down from somewhere when I cross onto the bridge, so that's something I'm going to take care of. I'm going to see if I can light those sconces down there before anything starts making trouble for me. Like you. And I definitely see dudes up there, and... oh, there's a sconce up there that I don't think I can get to now. That's a bummer. Alright, well, all in good time. We'll probably be back there later. Oh, hi. What are you even aiming at? Well, never mind, it's not important. What I want to do is get rid of these gentlemen. And I got his buddy's attention, so I can take care of him in a slightly easier fashion. Alright, a little dark for my comfort heading across the bridge, so we'll spend one of our 2 remaining cast lights. And hey, if we need to, we can always praise Jah and pop some more herb. I thought there was a citizen around here, but I don't know where he is. I see another sconce we can light up on the other side, though, and that's an opportunity that I never want to miss. Oh, and another one under this structure here. I heard something drop. What dropped? Somebody over here. Oh, hi, doggy. Oh, shit. That's what I heard drop. Alright, we handled that without too much drama, though. And what have we over this way where the dog was? Can't see too well, so we'll use our last light casting. And if nothing else, we've got another sconce over here. And another hollow who will trouble us no more. Don't mind the statues, though. Really mind the statues. God damn it, anyway. Oh, one thing about the statues, since they are not technically enemies, they don't actually respawn if you die, only if you actually... Well, actually, yes, they do respawn when you die, but not if you rest at a bonfire. That's the distinction I was looking for. I'm gonna clear a path to that sconce there so I can light that without being poisoned over and over again. And you do want to mind the ones that are lying on the ground, because they usually can spit more poison at you. Oh, and there's an upstairs here. Wonder if there's anything of interest there. As you've probably guessed at this point, I don't know my way around the gutter especially well. It all kind of looks a little samey, and though there are structures and landmarks to recognize, well, they do kind of blend together in the long run. And you know how much I hate to run around shieldless, but I've got lots of torch time, and I don't think I'm in any massive danger at the moment, so we'll do it this way. Maybe this is where that citizen is. Ladder. Oh, there's a still living torch hollow over there. I wonder where he's going. You know what? I don't want him coming up behind me later, so we'll do one of these. Oh, hello. Where'd all you guys come from? Seriously, I have no idea where they came from. More to the point, I am not at all sure where I actually am at this point. But there's a treasure. Not going to complain about that. And black fire bombs are not especially thrilling, but they're something. Alright, and I see we are about at the 1 hour mark, but I would like to reach another bonfire at least before I call it a session, so we will press on for the immediate. Let's see, if I get up there, can I get to that other rope bridge? I think maybe I can. Not entirely sure that's where I need to be at this point in my life, but... Oh yeah, this is where I just was. See, I can get turned around so easily in this place. Now if I go up here, that might be what I need. And as you have no doubt noticed in my wanderings, there are already some sconces that I don't really have a reasonable way to get to, or at least I don't know how I would. And I'd like to shoot that guy from here, but if I do that, I will... Oh, I can relight my torch right there. That's okay. Alright, if I aim a little bit up and more or less straight ahead, I should be able to hit that guy. Perfect. At some point, I may want to smoke up an herb and get myself some more castings, but for the moment I seem to be doing okay this way. Not too many enemies in this area that really necessitate much shield usage. Oh my goodness, what a hit. You see what I mean about the hollows down here being unnaturally strong? I wonder if they've been sipping from the sewage, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, hey, it worked for the Ninja Turtles, why not these guys? I don't remember what's over this way. Well, if nothing else, there's a few sconces. Oh, bugs. Blackweed balm, huh? Don't remember what that does, and I'm fairly certain we haven't seen it before, so I'll check that out in just a moment, when I feel reasonably safe. And when there are bugs running around, I don't feel entirely safe. Those red bugs, by the way, I think they can spit some sort of equipment breakage fluid on you, but I don't recall for sure, and if at all possible, I don't intend to give them an opportunity to do so. Alright, I think I'm reasonably safe for this moment, so let's take a look at those bombs I picked up. Let's see, where are those? There we go. Blackweed Balm temporarily increases intelligence. This special fragrant oil affects the mind, granting a fleeting sense of empowerment. And the golden fruit is the same thing, it just temporarily increases your faith. And I think those bugs might not have actually been here in the vanilla game, because I don't think in the original release of Dark Souls 2 that you could get these bombs until the DLC. So that might have been a change made for Scholar. Any more bugs in here? Nope, that seems to be the lot of them. And what, pray tell, is this? Oh, the Wicked Eye Great Shield. A favorite of Bostonians, I've heard. A great shield with an unsettling design, covered in the prints of countless hands. The true origin of this shield is unknown. No amount of polishing can clear its face of the mysterious handprints. And that allows you to absorb HP from enemies, and I believe this was also a winner of a shield design contest, where people could submit their great shield designs, and the ones that were picked by the creators would be put into the game. The Rebel's Great Shield also was one of those, if memory serves correctly. Now, I don't know if dropping down here is necessarily the thing I'm supposed to do, but it appears to be a safe thing to do, so I will. Oh, free poison arrows. I'm always happy about those. There are certainly parts of the game where I'm bound to use a whole lot of poison arrows, and they do get a little expensive when you buy them in large quantities. And I think I remember what's over here. A very optional, oh, citizen. Come on, do your run. There we go. That wasn't great timing on my swing there, but it was good enough. Alright. Lots of bugs in these little side paths. These are the more familiar beetle sort that we've seen before. And here we have a really fucking giant bug. And it looks like it's got some goodies behind it, so before I take a look at the bug proper, we'll make sure we get all that properly looted. And we got there some poison cure items, which is quite appropriate, because what this bug actually does, it is absolutely no threat to us, but that steam gas or whatever that it keeps spewing out, that will instantly cure you of any poison. So if you get poisoned and don't want to wait it out or pop a moss, you can come here and have a little steam bath. The downside is that the steam will also degrade your equipment, but it does so very slowly. So unless you just hang out in there all day, it's not something you really have to be concerned about. Right, moving on, we have a fog gate, and fog gates mean progress, so in we go. And one immediate hollow. And when there's one, there are usually more, so we will proceed with caution. And is that a bonfire I see in the distance? I do believe it is. Let's go ahead and take a light source. I'm really going to have more torch time than I'm ever going to need. I don't see myself using more than 3 hours worth of torch at any point in my career. So we'll take it slow, we'll keep it visible, and we'll pick up more Grogans. And I think there are some collapsing floors around here. I don't remember exactly where they are, so we'll just be careful. Salad, that was a little needlessly overdramatic. Not sure where all of these ladders go, and some of them I think you can't actually climb back up again, so I am approaching the whole prospect of ladder descending here with a respectful caution. I'll just make sure I don't drop down too abruptly anywhere that I won't be able to climb back up, but this one seems to reach all the way down. Hello, Hollow. Don't want you coming after me. Nothing personal. Having a little extra bit of light source there certainly can't hurt. Whoop! Mind the holes there. I have no idea where I'm going. Anything in the pots here? Looks like they're empty, so I will not worry about those. Alright, I hear hollows shuffling about. I don't know where they are, but one of them is on the ladder. And we cannot accept that. Alright, looks like I can drop down there and spark up another sconce, and that's always a thing I will want to do. And it doesn't look like it's going to get me killed, which is even better. Hey, dude! Just like any of the hollows around here, the ones in this section do hit like motherfuckers, and they can kind of creep up on you with all the ladders around here. When they're climbing, they don't tend to make much noise, so just being nice and cautious. I think there might be a bunch of them down here. Oh, I got all of that. Fortunately, this one likes to swing at air, so that rather reduces the danger. Now, I really do want to get that other bonfire. I think I can proceed onward to the end of the level from here, but yeah, I really do want that other bonfire. How to reach it? Well, at the very least, we can loot while we're here. I get Dark Fog, which appears to be another hex, and it releases a temporary localized mist. Those who breathe in the mist are instantly assailed by poison. This hex is regarded as a poison due to the outward symptoms, but in fact the mist eats away at the target's inner essence, just the traits that led to the prohibition of hexing. Just a hex way of inflicting poison on folks, not terribly different than poison fog. Let's see, where exactly am I? Oh yes, progress to the next area beyond the gutter is through these corrosive urns here, but I am not quite ready to do that. Really want that other bonfire, because I think there might have been some other stuff around it as well. And here we have a chest. The Great Club, which is pretty much just whacking people with a fuck-off big tree. If memory serves, it has better base damage than the large club, but inferior scaling, so the large club eventually actually gets better. It's a giant wooden club made from the branches of a towering tree, designed to smash foes. Simple but terribly effective against common shields. And it kind of makes you look like Captain Caveman, even more so than the large club, so that's a benefit as well. So let's see, is there some way I can get back up and pursue that other bonfire? I think if I find the right ladder I can do it. As I was saying, there is a thing that you get, unique to Scholar, by the way, if you light all the sconces in the gutter, and that is a unique NPC invader called the Gutter Denizen, who drops a nice equipment set. But it is an equipment set that we can eventually get through other means. It would just be nice to be able to get it a little early. But again, it doesn't look like that's terribly likely to happen, so we will just have to get it later. No big deal. There is also a Haid Iron Mask you can find somewhere in this area, which is just another piece of the Haid set. That's a different bit of headgear. Oh, I think if I smash down this wall... No, maybe it's this one? Perfect. Oh, shit. Mind the statues. There's our baby. So what I'm going to do now is just do a quick search around, see if there's anything else of interest here. And then now that we've got another bonfire set, I think we'll be about good to call it a day. Sconce is always a positive. Oh, and it is possible to approach this from that direction, but making this jump here is quite dangerous, because the statues here can shoot you down in midair. But with our handy, mysteriously stone-breaking torch, we can get them out of the way. Is there anything else of interest here? I don't think there really is, just the honeycomb of ladders going down. Now that we've rendered the jump here safe, I can go over that way. Oh, hi, doggy. Interesting that he doesn't react to getting arrowed in the face as long as he can't actually reach me. Alright, let me just light that torch again, and we'll do a little more exploring, and then we'll be just about ready to go. Actually, you know what? I don't think I can make that jump. Not really fancying my chances there. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to finish up this area and move to the bonfire in the next one, because it's really very close by. And then we'll be all set to explore our next area in our next episode. I do hope you don't mind too terribly that this one's gone and run a little long. But it'll be a good nugget of progress for us. Ooh, sconce over there. Can I get to that? I would like to. If I can. I'm probably getting a little more adventurous than I should, but I did light a recent bonfire, so hell, why not? Alright, I may regret this, but I'm just gonna run and drop for it. Here goes nothing. Ah, that worked out okay. Yeah, I'll take it. We're really running on fumes as far as Estus goes, but that's okay. We're not really going to need it because we are moving up on a new area very soon. And being as I have sufficiently heavy arrows, I can just pop these from a distance and not risk my equipment breakage. Let's see, I don't quite have a way through, but all I have to do is pop a couple more of these, and we're good to go. Quick double check, make sure there's nothing else down here that I want. Doesn't appear that way. So down we go. And another fragrant branch, very nice. Alright. Probably a bit overkill to spend a flame butterfly just on this one last sconce, but my torch lighting OCD, it will not be denied. And the fog gate here is going to lead us right into our next proper area. The Black Gulch. And right at the beginning of Black Gulch, we have yet another bonfire. And now we've got a good leaving off point. Alright folks, as always, I greatly appreciate you joining me. It was a little bit of a clumsy episode, but we did get quite a bit done, so I'm willing to call it a win if you are. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I hope to see you next time when we continue into the depths of Drang Lake and explore the Black Gulch. Until then, all the best. You give dollar, I holla holla. Much love and many thanks to such generous contributors as Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Charlie Dunst, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Johnny Millennium, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Craig Patterson, Frank Grizzy, Tim J., Lolo De Puzzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Darren Chow, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Alicia Goranson, Argyle Jelly, Mechasaurus, DG Jono, and Doug Russell. Enthusiastic shoutouts as well to all other contributors and all you wonderful commenters, subscribers, and watchers. As always, I truly appreciate your support. Take care, and I'll see you next time.